guys, and welcome back to UnJaded Jade. I've got my tea, I've got an empty room, and I want to tell you a bit about my first few days here. I'm sharing a room with two Brazilian girls, one of whom is Lara, who I lived with in Berlin. She is wonderful. Such incredible energy. And the guy Gabriel, who I lived with last semester, is now my neighbour. Instead of having Gabriel, I have Gabriella, who is also wonderful. This is Gabby.
Hello.
Gabby, tell us about yourself.
I'm from Brazil. I live near Lara, 1 hour and a half away to be specific. Why do we need this detail? Anyway, it's a city called São José dos Campos. I grew up there most of my life. I started dancing there, which is something that is very important to me.
Gabby is an amazing dancer.
Oh yeah, I tap dance since I'm 8 years old. Also love nature. I love the ocean, and I'm beach girl here.
We all have nicknames. I'm nature girl.
Yes.
You're beach girl. Lada's city girl.
And through that I also got involved in sustainable agriculture, so I'm part of a CSA when I'm back home, which is a community supported agriculture. It's amazing to be in contact like with earth and with the things that you eat. Yeah, and here in Seoul we live nearby Nansam Tower, and it's just a beautiful forest.
Yeah, the park. And Gabby just has such a wonderful energy. She is the mum. She is a culinary goddess. Also the other day I was on my period and she just comes over with like this chamomile herbal scrub for like a massage and a hot water bottle. And she's just so warm. And we have in the evenings, we do little like debriefs of our lives.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It creates a really like nice energy in this room.
Yeah,
very
I
lucky.
really love our room. Everyone's like so hyped for everything. And you're so great with words and making us feel like welcomed and like beautiful. It's just like so natural. It's great. Gabriella. Yeah, that's good.
Gabriella. Our residence hall is near Itaewon in Seoul. I don't know if you know Itaewon, but if you've ever seen Itaewon Class, which is a K-drama on Netflix, which I highly recommend, we live near there. We live on a mountain. We don't even live at the top. We live like smack bang on the incline. It's so hilly here. When I first came down the stairs from quarantine, it was the most surreal experience. First you just see the sky, and there were around 10 other students who got out of quarantine that day, and when you first get out of quarantine you're kind of at your safest because you've had 2 COVID tests, you've been monitoring your temperature, you know you don't have COVID. I got to hug people and touch people and see people's faces in 3D for the first time. And then this taxi journey felt like a dream. There was this moment where we drove over the bridge from Incheon to Seoul, and I feel like I'll always remember it. The sky was like a hazy pink purple. And I don't know what it is about Seoul, but it feels like this city has a constant Instagram filter on it. Like some beautiful, grainy softness, probably due to like the haze and the air quality, but it looks beautiful. And in that car I was leaning on these 2 students who I hadn't seen in like a year, and we just wanted to be so physically close to each other because we hadn't been able to touch anyone in so long. And we were just driving through looking at these views and reading all these signs that we couldn't understand, and such a surreal moment. When I arrived here I nearly cried because in my room, Gabriel, my roommate from last year, he got out of quarantine the day before me, and him and his new roommate Gordon had like planned this little surprise for me in the room. He made a little sign that said, "Welcome Casual Magic Jade," which is so cute because we did the casual magic habit all the time in our house, and it's just cute. In that moment alone, it suddenly felt like, wow, this place is home now. I've got good people here who can make it feel like home. I got checked into the building. I learned about the extensive COVID regulations here. The building is so high tech. When you come in, you get your temperature monitored on a screen that recognises you even with your mask on. On my first day in Seoul, it snowed, which was so special. I went to find the big supermarket to get set up with food and groceries and that kind of thing. And the snow was just the most beautiful snow I've seen in my entire life. It was so powdery and soft. I set up my SIM card for my phone. I set up a T-Money card for the public transport system here. More logistic things like filling in an alien residence form for being a student here. Oh, I've been trying to learn Korean for like 6 months maybe, on and off. And I'm so happy that I can pretty much read every hangul thing I see, like kind of quickly-ish now. Hangul is the written language of Korean, and even if I don't understand what it says, I can read it out loud, which is pretty, you know, you feel good. And it's crazy that even though I've just done level 1 of Talk to Me in Korean, every single thing in that level 1 I think I've used in just the few days I've been here. Things like there's this word isoyo and opsoyo, which means like to have and to not have, but it also means with and without. Like this exists, this does not exist, which is a very simple phrase which can be used as a question and as a statement in so many different scenarios. Gogi opsoyo, like is this without meat? Is this without chicken? Really useful. So I'm motivated, I want to learn more Korean. I think it's a really cool, beautiful language, even though it's hard to remember. Oh, I live really near Namsan Tower, which is the official Seoul tower that most people have seen, which is really cool. And just a short hike up this mountain is Namsan Park, which is a beautiful forest that leads up to the tower. Yesterday I went for a hike with some friends in nature and it was just really beautiful, and the first time I've gone to a forest in such a long time. Hello and welcome to a very rapid tour of the best room you will ever see. This is future Jade coming at you after this room has been definitely lived in for a little bit, and therefore it's not the tidiest. I'm not gonna over tidy it so you can get a full picture. Here is the room. This is my bed. This is my storage unit, clothes hangers. This is Gabby's bed. Her map just fell. I think I'm gonna put it up, wait, so you can see the full effect, because her wall looks really beautiful. And she also has these really pretty fairy lights, which I'm going to try and put on so you can, again, appreciate this full effect. So cute! Mine's a little bit more basic, but still cute! Here on my wall, so that I can see them every day, is some of my most important values in life. My mental and physical health, optimism and finding beauty in everyday growth and reflection, and alone time, which is something which is really hard to get here, especially having 2 roommates. Like there's so much beauty in having roommates and what you learn and developing these almost like familial relationships, but alone time is important. Community, friends and family, and sense of belonging, and then justice, helping others. And then I have this cute thing that says, is there something in my life that makes me forget time while I'm doing it? What is it? Just as a reminder of passions and priorities. I have these cute postcards, which if you've been with me in Berlin, you've seen before. They move when you move, which is cool. Here I have postcards and meaningful photos and this beautiful drawing that my friend in Berlin did for me. Shout out to you, Linnea. Here I have some clothes. I have drawer space. This is shared. Normally this looks very artsy and beautiful, but today is laundry day, so we've got a makeshift drying rack. Got a map of Seoul so that we can start to understand this massive city. Lada is very artsy and brought this, which is very nice. We moved our lockers recently here, so we have extra space. Those are our suitcases. We have this cozy area with our yoga mats, and I normally bring my yoga mat every morning here and do some yoga. These are my cute slippers from quarantine. Here is Lada's bed. Here is Lada's stuff. Here is Gabby's stuff, and that's pretty much my room. We have a study area outside, just in there, where I take class from and do most of my work. I also have flatmates who I share this area with. There's 3 of them, they're wonderful. It's a nice balance because there's 3 girls here, 3 guys there, and this is my little home. Thank you for coming to my tour. And future Jade is also sorry that I am just doing work and trying to focus on staying afloat in things and focus on my mental health and just not uploading as much. Okay, I have 3 classes tomorrow, so I spent most of today just doing work. I had an essay due yesterday, so I was doing that essay, but I think my casual magic of the day, I did a 40-minute yoga practice, and it was a spine yoga practice, which just felt so nice after having been on a laptop for many hours. Have a beautiful day. Bye. Hello from future Jade. This is a few days after I filmed that first video. I could not post another video without going back and quickly discussing some of the criticism, the comments, the feedback I've received from people, how I've reflected on this, and just realizing that I have screwed up in so many respects. I just really want to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry to anyone who has felt very disillusioned with decisions that I've made or the way I've handled it. One of the main things people have said is just because you can doesn't mean you should. And I took a weekend trip to Switzerland in December, and even though in my eyes that trip was done honestly as safely as I possibly could have done it, like I didn't even go grocery shopping in Switzerland, it was only done in Germany, we stayed in the middle of nowhere, and also because I'm biased by the good memories I had there, people have made such incredibly valid good points about why that was really not a good decision. How if everyone thought like that, the world would not go back to normal very quickly, because even if you think you're being safe and even if you are taking all the precautions, you don't know. Even though I stayed in the middle of nowhere, what if I met a random person from a rural community who is more vulnerable? What if a second strain happened? Like, so many people have made very good points which have made me reconsider my life a lot. I'm just sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, if you feel like I've made poor decisions, that's valid. With regards to being here in Seoul during study abroad right now with my university, I have a lot of South Korean friends who have been really helpful in informing me how I should navigate life here, how I should explore, if I should explore, how I can respect the culture and the COVID regulations. So yeah, I spent most of my week in my study room, which is out here. I'm not gonna lie to you, I have explored, I know my area quite well, but contrary to how I think a lot of people have been painting me, I really am trying to do this safely and carefully. It is my furthest intention to firstly disrespect this culture. Like, I don't know if you can tell from the way I try and learn about cultures I go to, but I really don't want to be disrespectful. I'm really doing my best to live life here, to get to know the city, but also do it in an incredibly safe way. Thank you to everyone who has been super informative and honest in how they feel about my decisions and wanting me to learn from it and grow from it. I think that's really constructive. To everyone else who has been blatantly horrible, I invite you to remember that there are humans behind this space, this screen. You don't know what's going on in everyone's lives, even if it feels like you have a grasp on their whole life. Yeah, that's just a reminder. We love kindness, more kindness in the pandemic. Okay, how do I feel right now? I feel quite homesick being away. I'm sure a lot of you can relate if you study abroad or live away from home. There are days where I really just want to have help from my mum and chat with my mum. Or do you know how tough it is when so many of your loved ones back home are struggling and you can't be the same level of support that you want to be? You're overwhelmed here with the work and you're just trying to cope in your daily life, and I really am struggling with academics, with work, with everything, mental health. Like, it's a lot. And then the added layer of not being able to support the people in your life as much as you'd like to. It's just, yeah, it's tough. I also often feel like I'm missing out on such key moments in my brother's life. Like, he just turned 18. There's so much about university being hard, whether it's a pandemic or not. I'm just going very much off topic and just rambling, but yeah, I'm in Seoul. I'm slowly getting to know parts of the city in a safe way within regulations. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you're struggling with your mental health or anything right now, I really just want to extend my love to you, because I felt it in the last 2 months. I really have struggled at times, and it's so intangible and it's so hard when you feel like you don't want to burden people, you don't want to reach out. I'm a person, I like to handle stuff on my own. I don't tend to involve people in the ongoings of my mind a lot, but I've started doing that more and it's been really helpful. I'm going to leave a bunch of mental health charities below who are wonderful, especially if you can't access something like therapy. But I suppose in finale, just because on the surface someone's life looks great doesn't mean that everything's great. I had a conversation with my roommates at like 1 AM last night about how the fact that we are here living this incredible life, incredible because we get to travel, and that's so privileged and so lucky, how we often don't let ourselves talk about the real struggles we face in trying to juggle the workload, in things like homesickness, in all the hard parts, because we know we're so lucky to be here, and we don't want to complain, and we don't want to open up about mental health struggles because, oh my god, we're some of the luckiest students in the whole world, which we are. So yeah, also that nuance is something I've been juggling. I know I'm really lucky to be here, but it doesn't change the fact that I often really just struggle. Yeah, okay, that's me for today. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm excited to pour good creative energy into this space. I've missed it. Okay, bye.